Oh, don't treat me so mean, you're the meanest old woman that I ever seen. I guess if you say so, I have to pack my things and go.
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. What you say? Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
Must be talking.
Hit the road, Jack.
What you say?
Oh, woman, don't you treat me this way, cause I'll be back on my feet someday.
I don't care if you do it Sunday dude, you ain't got no money, you're just another. I don't care if you do it Sunday dude, you ain't got no money, you're just another.
Well, I guess if you say so, I pack up my things and go. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
Must be talking.
Hit the road, Jack.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack.
What you say? What you say?
Oh, woman, don't you treat me this way, cause I'll be back on my feet someday.
I don't care if you do it Sunday dude, you ain't got no money, you're just another.
If you say so, pack up my things and go.
I guess if you say so.
Pack up my things and go. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more.
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
Oh yeah, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more. And don't you come back no more. Don't you come back no
Must be
more.
talking.
Don't you come
I
back.
do not understand you.
And don't you come back.
Oh, baby, please.
And don't you come back no more.